Hey everyone. I will be back in a minute. I'm just sorting some things out here, and we'll be back very shortly. Guys will pop into the cameras in a sec, hopefully, if all is well. They pop in within the next 5 minutes or so. And just hold off a bit. We're a little early streaming, but I've just got a couple of things to sort out here, and I'll be back. So let us know, obviously, in chat if you can hear me okay. And 1 second, and we'll be back. Spooky.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. Didn't know I was live. Something interesting happening at the Ranzee residence. Too far.
Oh! What? What did he do?
Start spreading the news. No worries, Daz. Bit of an unusual start to the show. Not quite sure what's going on, but stay with us, people. I'm sure normal programming will eventually resume. In the meantime, da-da.
Come here. Just go up. Good girl.
I don't even have any friends to talk to. Well, I mean, you guys are all my friends, of course, but I'll go back to the beginning of the show and see what was going on. Dispute.
Would you like him to set up the soccer on the track? Oh yes, please. Nah. Yeah. No. Actually, no. Can we play basketball on that or is it grass cricket? Grass cricket. Okay. Yeah. Nah. stay there.
Hey everyone. I will be back in a minute. I'm just sorting some things out here, and we'll be back very shortly. Guys will pop in into the cameras in a sec, hopefully, if all is well. Usually they pop in in the next 5 minutes or so. And just cooled off a bit. We're a little early streaming, but I've just got a couple of things to sort out here, and I'll be back. So let us know, obviously, in chat. Can you hear me okay? And 1 second, and I'll be back.
And that was the last we heard of Ranzee. 10 minutes ago. He's sorting out some stuff. Unfortunately, my buddies are not here. Possibly... I know Daren can't make it at the moment because he's doing wardrobes. Fixing wardrobes or packing wardrobes. Andy might be sleeping because he's had a bit of a massive weekend, I think. Week. At the Night of the Living Dead festival thing. And Mr. Cole is not going to be here tonight. He told us that last week. So, looks like it's just me on my own sim at the moment. Not awkward at all. Maybe I should do something. Might throw it over to the chat. This is probably a good time to ask me anything. As long as it isn't incriminating to the other guests, of course. I've been playing with the Mini Freak new vocoder feature today, which I only found about, it was actually last night.
Alright.
Haha! Get ready, people. It's happening. For real this
Back.
time.
Sorry. Hi everyone.
G'day, mate.
How are you? Sorry about that. I had guests here when they sort of stayed a bit over.
Right.
So that's fine. We're good now. That's why I thought I'd start the stream, because I knew you guys would be in. Where is everybody? Where's...
So, yeah, it's just been me, which hasn't been awkward at all.
No, that's always awkward.
Ian's not here with us this week.
We know Ian's not here, but Daren should be here. And,
Daren said he can't get in because he's in the middle of emptying or fitting wardrobes.
Fair enough.
Sounds domestic. But Andy, I mean, maybe he got swallowed up by a zombie, or...
Well, he was over in Pennsylvania, wasn't he? Or
yes,
somewhere in that. Maybe he's away.
Festival, yeah.
Okay, well,
So
we'll
he
just...
might be away.
Look, you know what? We can do... 2 up, I guess. 2 up, where are you? You're there. Does that work, that button? There we go, we'll do that. Now, what I need to do is, I know everyone's been waiting in chat, so I do apologise, you guys. But, you know, Saturday nights for me, like I said, sometimes it's hard because, you know, people want to do things on Saturday nights. As you guys would imagine, if you're living in your part of the world, I'm sure you guys have got stuff happening on Saturday nights. The chat should be working. Good, that's working. Okay. Well, look, you know, since we've got some spots free, if you guys want to join us, you're happy to join us. We've got spots free. I'll just put the... has Streamlabs been chatbotting in there or not? I haven't seen any chatbot entries.
I haven't seen any chatbot entries, no.
Okay, let's get that working again.
No.
Dashboard. Let's double check. The chatbot is on. Do we need to mod it? Mod. Streamlabs is not in there. Okay, let's see if we can get chatbot. I'll just turn it off. And then I'll turn it back on again. As they always say in the classics. And my microphone is in a weird spot. Alright, let's see if that works.
Rumble. Mine rumbles too.
I can tell if it's working. I'll be able to run a command. Like, for example... Yeah, no, it's not working. You annoying thing, you.
You little SOB.
Yeah. It's working on Twitch. Okay. But it's not working on YouTube.
Lovely.
Weird. Okay, I'll just double check that. It's on TikTok. Right, let's just go Twitch, dashboard. Whew. Yeah, no, it's working in Twitch. The chatbot's in there. Let me see if it's working properly. Okay. Interesting. Do I have to give it permissions? Settings? It says active YouTube. You lying little sod. Alright. Well, that's bizarre. Hey, anyway, we will... it's probably... I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube have mangled something to do with, you know, the way it functions with them. They've probably changed something.
Changing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then maybe I should launch the other chatbot.
We have Plan Bs and Plan Cs.
Yep.
And Plan Ds.
The only thing is I'll have to reset the poll up again, though. We'll just wait for that to come. It's one of those software things that you've got to give administrative services to. I always worry about those software applications.
Yeah. Dodgy. It's a concern.
Anyway, so what we're going to do tonight is I do believe there's a big live stream happening in about 2 hours' time, which is the ARP 100th anniversary.
Okay.
And if I've got the time right, I think guys will correct me if I'm wrong in chat, but there's actually a anniversary happening. Yes. And that's about 2 hours, well, less than 2 hours now. It'll be about an hour and 45 now. So, yeah. All right, let's add these memes in before we get to start. Otherwise, I won't be able to run the poll. I'll just do real quick explanations of them. And then, how you been anyway, Chris? You been good?
Yeah, not bad. Probably wondered if I'd fallen off the planet because I haven't really been sending you any updates on our projects that we're working on. But
yeah,
I have actually been working on projects relating to us, so that's kind of good.
Oh, that's good.
Some things you know about, some things you don't.
Good. I like that. I like a bit of secrecy. Yeah, don't tell me everything. Tell me nothing.
Yes.
Okay, well, we just got to wait for that chatbot to say it's online, and then it'll appear, and we'll just leave it running. I might just turn that one off completely. Yep. Refresh that page. Oh, do I have to click on every single... I get it. Okay, cool. I had to click on every single streaming platform and deactivate the bot. Right. Interesting. Okay. Good. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show, episode 299. We're one show away from hitting a number that's got some zeros behind it. Get excited about that if you want. Really, I couldn't give a toss. But anyway, we shall persevere. We have Chris here, which has been keeping you company before I managed to kick the guests out. And hopefully we can get a show together. We've got probably a lot to squeeze through if we're going to squeeze it through in an hour and 45 minutes, but we'll try our best, hey?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So the Alan Perlman Foundation stream doesn't start until 7 p.m. EDT, so that will be nearly 10 hours. I actually have a link here somewhere for it. Anyway, let's not worry about that. I'm going to hold the show up by clicking on things and waiting for it. The other chatbot doesn't seem to be working yet either. How do I get it to go online? Is there a way I can force it to go online? Console? Wouldn't it be weird if everything just doesn't want to work tonight?
That would be...
I mean, it's not really anything I can do. It's not my software.
Robbie, change your handle. You're on Pro Synth Network.
Yeah, so the one that Robbie's talking about is the one at 4 o'clock UK time, which is in about an hour and 42 minutes or whatever it is away. Yeah, the other one is a pay thing. You have to be a member or you have to pay. I think they were still living, saying that there were spots available. But anyway, we are good. We're fine. Okay, I probably need to get videos up and running too, considering. And, okay, so we do have a synth quiz. Why don't we start with the synth quiz, eh? I think that will get us going for the show. Everyone ready for the synth quiz? Brilliant. Synth quiz time, people. Let me just get my little page ready here. And hopefully I haven't had to click refresh. Do I have to click refresh? Yay, I don't have to click refresh. Isn't that weird? So chatbot's not working, but I don't have to click refresh here to give you the first clue of the synth quiz. Let's go with the first clue. That is the word mutant. You'll enjoy this one. Look, if you guys don't get this almost from that clue this week, I don't know. Call me a name. Insert a swear word. Because I honestly don't understand why you wouldn't get it. Now, can we go back here? Hey, there we go. So there's your first clue, guys. Get stuck into that. Send us at Ranzee, highlight my name, synth quiz, and then whatever your guess is. There's going to be 3 clues during the show. I know you guys know, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that don't. Okay? All right. Just calm down. They get to know that there's another 2 clues coming. They might want to hear the 2 clues coming. Because they might be smart and think, no, I'm going to hold back. You never know. He could be tricking me again. You know what this fella's like? He could be a bit of a trickster. But, you know, it's not like I've never tricked you before. Anyway, enough of the stupid jokes. Yes, there will be 2 more clues. And absolutely, if you guys don't get it this week, I will be very surprised. Very surprised indeed. Right. Okay, why don't we run some standard show stuff? We'll go with the funny side. Yes, indeed. I don't know what order it's going to be doing these in. Why don't we see if I have to reset this actually? Yeah, I do. All right. Ignore that one. Let's do it in order. Okay, now, why are you not there, Chris? You don't know why you're not there? Okay, I know why you're not there. Because, notice how I've got rid of the Zoom callers now? I promised you. I said, if no one wants to partake in Zoom, then you guys can all go to buggery. So what we're going to do this week is we are just going to have the people that count. We'll put the chatties there and the bottom. Thanks. And then we can all react. And there's a blank spot. If anyone wants to join us on Zoom, hey, look, chatbot's working. Yay! bit.ly/Ranzee Zoom. Let me pin that mofo. Let me pin it. There you go. It's pinned. So your Zoom link, if you guys want to join us on Zoom, is pinned in the YouTube chat. I know if you're watching on a different platform, it's just have to remember it. It'll say it every 5 minutes anyway. So don't. We've got Steve waiting for us actually. Why don't we bring Stevie in?
Yeah.
Now tell me, Steve, if you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good man. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring you in. I have to scroll. I have to click. There's things I have to do. But don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you. And then magically, look, there you are.
Hey.
Look at that. How are you, buds? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right, Ranz. Yeah. Yeah. How are you doing, Chris?
G'day, mate. Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah,
good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Well, we're going to do.
I wasn't sure if it was working because I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes.
Sorry, I didn't actually see that because I wasn't sitting at my desk. I didn't see the pop up, and if I don't see the pop up,
if you don't, it doesn't constantly remind you.
It doesn't constantly remind me, yeah. But
I thought it might have been my end not working properly because I downloaded the Zoom app, but I don't think it's working because I can only get in using the HTTPS link.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yeah, so I thought I was doing something wrong.
Why has bit.ly changed? That's weird. It used to just automatically go to the destination.
I'm petrified of that kind of stuff. I probably got the same issue in mine.
Yeah, I know. Let me just join. I'm going to join the Zoom call. So there's 2 me's now. And the only reason why I'm going to do that is because I found last week when we had a couple of Zoom callers in, they had their mics muted. And you could see it in the Zoom app, but you can't see it in the vMix application here, which I think is... I've been feeding back information to these people, and they're just ignoring me. But anyway, I think it'll help if we can see things going on. But the other thing, too, is if we get the rude guy coming in, we can kick him straight away. It wasn't a nice sight, put it that way. All right. Okay, so first meme is up. I think I have an expensive hobby. He's got I don't know if you can see that, he's got guns, like a gun collection.
One, yeah.
And then underneath it's the synth guy saying, "Oh, that's cute." Pretty good. Look, I shouldn't cast aspersions on memes. You guys get to choose what's your favorite. Anyway, let's keep going. We have this one. Amazon are selling the Alesis accordion, or is it? Get it fast. There's only 1 day delivery with Prime if you want to get it. Shop now. Yeah. It might have an accordion sound in it.
It might do.
It might. It might be like a compassive.
The Scottish version has bagpipes.
Yes. It gets very fifey. Next, when you suddenly played the gunshot patch of your GM bank, after 10,000 years, I'm free. I like that one. That's clever.
Yes.
What you got to do is you got the mic in front of you, and you've got to go. You got to, ding. Gotta get it all timed right.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what else we got here? We've got Robbie sent this one in. Robbie's waiting for his Llama.
Oh, yeah. Yamaha. Sorry. I'm sure that's not what they meant.
No, indeed they didn't. At least we don't have to zoom in on them now. That's bigger. They're bigger now. We can see them.
Ooh, yeah, they are.
And then the reggae one back. Reggae sound system ahead. Expect delays. That one was sent in.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, that one was sent in by Mr. Henrik JX3D. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he might be. But that was probably him just copying and pasting it from another Facebook group. But anyway, that's okay. You're allowed to do that. And the last one is Donald Trump tweeting that Elon has an entire set of Volkers and they're well used. Yes, I mean exactly what you think I mean. I mean, honestly, okay, so whoever's authored this, good job, but if you really want us to believe it's Donald, use words like Elon has a big, beautiful set of Volkers. Like, it's just the language, right?
Yeah, you've got to use the right.
You've got to use the right language. But you don't get this one? I'm sorry,
needs
Cosmic.
a bit more nuance.
Yeah.
Convincing to
Look, I don't know. There's a group of people out there that think Volkers belong in a certain orifice. And
Yes,
I've always been perplexed by it, to be honest, because I'm just thinking they're actually pretty big. And, yeah, I don't really know if that kind of works. Anyway, there is your memes for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed them, and the poll starts now. Hopefully that worked. It did. Yay, poll works. Oh, thanks, Steve. Also, as in the Steve the Bastard, Steve, for the $5.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah. Good
Just
one,
saw that. I don't know if it still shows on the chat thing. Is that chat there? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, yep, there it is. Thank you, Steve. Polls in. So type !vote space and the number that corresponds starting at 0. And it actually says it there. So 0 is the expensive hobby, 1 is the Alesis, 2 is the gum shot from the GM sound bank, 3 is the Llama, 4 is the reggae delay, and 5 is Trump. And look at all these votes coming in, and it's actually quite random. You would not believe where they're all coming from. What do you think, guys? Steve, if you were to pick one, actually I can bring Steve into the 4-up now. We can do the 4-up. Goop. Let's just give me a sec, Steve. I'm going to bring you in. Okay. So we've got, we'll put you down the bottom left. If it's going to let me. Come on. Yep. And the bottom right, we're going to put chatties. Yep. And then I can press this button. Hey, there we go. So Steve, if you were to choose, what would your favourite meme be this week? Or you've already voted.
The Llama one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Robbie gets glory. Well, shall I end the poll? Because no one. Oh no, we've still got a couple of votes. Come on, guys, get them in. Come on, guys. I'm about to end the poll. Give it 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, I'm ending it. Stop. Bang. Well, guess what, Steve?
Boom.
You would be right because Llama wins it with 8 votes.
Yeah.
Actually,
it is very good.
see if you can guess what was second. We had that one waiting.
Yes, he was.
What do you reckon was second?
Delays.
Yeah. You're right onto it, mate. Absolutely spot on. Well done. Trump got no votes. A bit like the rigged election that he so-called. Anyway.
Yes.
Had to do that, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. So we got... well, Robbie, I mean, you could walk around with a big head all day because you put that meme in. So why not? Enjoy it. enjoy a bit of limelight.
It was good.
Yeah, it
Has to be
was.
spoken to be fully appreciated too.
It does. Yeah. All right. Now, you guys are gonna have to remind me. We only are doing probably until about an hour and a half before the show finishes. So you'll have to remind me to do the second quiz clue. But we'll probably get through news first. I think. Let's see if we can get through it.
Cool.
All right. Let's have a look what's on here. Now, let me fix this up because we've got people missing, and it's gonna just be a little tricky each time we go into this. All right, so who we got? We got, and we're going to put, no Andy. So Zoom guest 1 there. We'll put chatties down the bottom, which is up top. There we go. How's that work? Hey, sound good? Now, Chris, we've got another little post in here. We'll just grab that quickly. Big thank you again to Steve for the $10. Appreciate that. All right, now how do I go back here? No. There. Now, Chris, were you okay to go with this one?
Yeah, I just need a little moment to get the actual page up because for some reason I can't get your page up at the moment.
Ooh,
so,
what's going on?
Don't know. It's probably my end.
Let's double check. Site can't be reached. Really?
Okay, it's not me. How awkward.
Server's running.
Now it's funny.
Hang on, let me see if I can fix this.
We need to go to news. Block. There it is, isn't it? That one. No.
Let's see if that fixes it. Yep.
Okay.
Try it now. Try my link.
Excellent. Oh, no, wrong.
I wonder why that was not working before. That's kind of weird.
It was weird, wasn't
it?
Right. Yes, please stop your ad blockers.
Oh, aren't they fantastic?
Yeah, lovely, aren't they? Okay, so we have the AM Synths AM1064, which is a recreation of a Moog module that was made for just one occasion. I believe it was one live set by, I don't know who it was, it doesn't actually say. But it is a set of precision voltages, as in a set, as in two of them. And they can be fired off by the little switch, the on-off switch there, which is a toggle switch. So you press it on and the voltages come out. You press it again and the voltages and goes back, I assume, to 0 volts. Makes sense. So what this does is it has a precision voltage reference in it, which means the voltages that you get out of it will be predictable and accurate. So you can use it for pitch, CV type stuff. It has a range. Each channel has a range switch between 2 volts and 10 volts. 2 volts is obviously going to be more useful for pitch, CV, and 10 volts is going to be more for doing CV type stuff. It has as well as having the manual switch, it has a gate input, which is used to basically the same as the switch. So when the gate signal's high, the voltages will appear, and when it's low, they will not. So it was designed to be used live and to also be automated, perhaps by a step sequencer. But basically, the idea is that it'll introduce sort of like an accent or a shift in the middle of a live sequence or a patch of some kind. It's only 4 HP, which is pretty cool, and the price is only £75. So that's yet another inexpensive module from AM Synths, which is we always applaud here. And it's an interesting module in the sense that it may not seem immediately be obvious what you use it for, but it's one of those situations where I can easily imagine it being in a patch when you need to transpose or shift something or inject some kind of live issue. And it's the kind of thing that you probably think you could do with other modules, and then you find out that they don't have a precision voltage and every time you go to the next show, it's the power supply is different, and your pitch goes out, and you just go, why can't I have one that has a precision voltage? And
Yeah.
boom, that's the house. I think that's sort of
Set
the
and
main
forget is what you want.
point of difference here is that it is a precision voltage reference. Other than that, it's a fairly simple concept, but neatly realised.
Now, you can correct me if I'm right or wrong here, but I'm always a little bit perplexed when they talk about the word momentary as a push button, because then they, in the same sentence, use the term latch.
Yes.
And that, to me, is confusing from an electronic mechanical engineer point of view, because a momentary button could mean that you're pushing it in and that's creating the voltage, and as soon as you let it go, it should turn the voltage off. But then if you have it configured some sort of way that it latches when you're pushing it in as a toggle. So I'm wondering which way they have, because they've said latch and they've said momentary.
Yes. I would suspect it is from putting in my engineer's hat. I would say, or lab hat in the lab, I would say what's the part? It's a momentary switch that I put in this module. What does it do? It toggles it on and off. So it's a latching system. So an engineer's brain would probably find that quite logical process of, the part and then the effect. So that's why they'd say momentary switch with a latching effect is really probably what they're trying to say. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Especially because it's got an LED, but I guess, you got to reflect what the gate input is doing. So it's not a given, is it?
Not a given.
Not a given.
And the thing is,
demos would be nice, guys.
Yeah, but
Videos would be nice, guys.
It is literally, you can still smell the ink on the panel.
It is.
He's only, Rob's only just done this. But I would suggest that if you bought it thinking that it was one way and not the other and were disappointed, then you probably should communicate with the manufacturer first before you buy it.
Admittedly, the button says on/off, on/off.
Yeah.
Which suggests a kind of state.
Yeah.
Slash sort of suggests a state, but no.
That's what I alluded to as well.
Yes.
There might be a jumper on the back, so
No,
when you've
there's
got
no
a jumper
on
it
the back.
might...
No
No.
jumper on the back.
No, they tend not to leave off stuff like that. These
Yeah.
guys, they tend to tell you every little aspect of what it does.
No jackets,
Very
no
thorough,
jumpers,
usually.
no hoodies,
Probably
nothing.
just terminology.
Nothing on the back.
No sticker. It never sends me stickers. I actually don't care for stickers, really. So, no offense to people who love getting stickers, but I'm not really into that. Don't know
Now,
about you
just
guys.
out of curiosity, I want to see something here. Right. So before we go to the next news item, I'm going to edit this little jobber here. Now, where is my... Oh, yeah, Daren's emailed me, by the way, and I've just got it in. He gives his apologies. He says he can't get in the studio. He's putting together 2 wardrobes, but he's watching. He'll try and zoom in, he says, but it doesn't. Don't worry. Anyway, where was I? I'm going to try something. Let me see. Where are we? Did I get an email from them? Where are we? I just want to try something out. Here we go. All right. So, okay, it's got to be that and then the brackets. Right. Let's see if I can fix this little bit of code here. So that, and then get rid of that and press submit.
They're all. I think they're saying Rave got him.
Brave got him.
They swallowed him into the cupboard.
All right, let's see if this works. News 1.
Presumably, that's where he lives.
No. No wiki. Double check. Did I get the It did work.
It did.
Yes, I did a thing.
Is that the first time you've got that to work?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So now you can actually post links. So is that coming from a spreadsheet or?
It's coming from a Google Sheet.
Okay, cool. Excellent. That's gonna make things
Unfortunately, no one else has access to it except me, but I can change that. But
send this to Google Sheet.
yeah, it's an API call. It uses a Google API. Read API, I think it says. And let me just fix up the next. Well, we've got, how many have we got here? We've got 6 news items, so let me just fix up the 6. Read API. I wasn't able to test the other chatbot because it just wasn't working today. And I wonder if it's because that I've put these new commands in and it's having a bit of a cow about it.
Yes, maybe it didn't like your syntax and rejected the whole script.
Well, it can reject. It can reject, but I really don't care. It did take a little while for it to come back, but I would imagine that's because it's handling information coming back and waiting for it to return that information.
Yeah,
that's
it's got to do
probably what's going on.
request
Yeah.
to somewhere. Yep. As you said, it's an API.
Yeah. I haven't got all the commands in big fella wagoo, so you can try all you like. The ones that you can try are exclamation mark blog, exclamation mark merch, exclamation mark TTS, and exclamation mark Zoom. They will work for you. But the rest, bad luck. Only I get to touch them. Okay. And I could probably turn those off so that everyone can't touch them either, to be fair. Here you go. And the reason why I've made it so that people can do that, everyone can do it. And, if people would abuse it, that's fine. But if they want to get a link to something, like say...
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Say you're not a mod. Say Wagoo's there and he's not a mod, right? And someone says, oh, what's the link to Ranzee Zoom? Wagoo can just type exclamation mark Zoom. And then bang, it gives them the link.
I'll use that.
I think they're kind of handy. All right, let's get to the next news item. And I will go news 2. And hopefully that works. And the next news item is... Ta-da!
Like magic.
It takes a little while for the news to come in. There you go. There's the link now in the chat for the news 2. You guys can check that out if you need to. Now, all these links are the same. I talk about it in the past where I do a blog article. The blog article, it comes live at 6 UTC, 6 p.m. UTC today. So, but these are individual links for each of these news items. So if you want pictures, links, videos, anything that we show about this specific product that you're looking at now, you can see the link written in the little title below the photo. But also now I've actually spammed it out into the chat so you guys can click on it if you want to. So I feel that's kind of what people were asking me a few weeks ago when there were some people saying, what's the link? What's the link? It's kind of what do they want? They want that. So it gives them something. You can keep trying, Wugoo, but you don't have permission to do the news one. Sorry. There you go. TTS worked, but that one was on the cycle. Right. Anyway, what are we looking at here? This is the Synthetic Sound Labs 1015 low pass gate. This is a Buchla remake module for low pass gate. Now, okay, what's exciting about it? It's an SSL Vactral style VCA VCF concept, and the Buchla module, if you ever want to know what they were, that's the 292C, and it depends on the selection that you give it. And you can see on the bottom right hand side of the module under the CV amount knob, you'll see a mode, and you can choose between amp, which is VCA, another way of saying VCA, and filter, which is another way of saying VCF. And then you've got both, which is the switch mode in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
If it acts as a filter, it's a 2-pole low pass, or a combination of both. Usually, what I would suggest if you're after that buchla sound, going for both is the way to go because you generally get the best of both worlds. But sometimes you may want it to just invoke that filtery sort of low pass gate feature, or maybe you want it just to adjust the amplitude on your VCA, and it'll do that. Now it's factual based, so for people that live in the USA who prefer a classic CDS character, there is a special edition with the original CDS components available at no extra cost. But people that don't live, it uses the SS, the non-cadmium sulfide photocell type thing.
They don't specify.
They don't actually tell you. I was actually thinking that they might have, but they didn't. Yeah. Anyway, so
I did
US
some research though.
Well, I don't know why he says US only, because Australian can get cadmium sulfide products. We don't have a restriction here.
Oh, you guys down. Yeah, of course you guys. Don't you guys use American dollars?
We don't. We're not even as big as one of their small states.
I don't think they're thinking too much about it.
No, I don't think.
Sorry.
Anyway, as you can see, there's the offset knob. If you're wondering what the offset knob, it's the initial VCA or VCF level. That's what that is. There's a resonance knob. Yeah, I reckon bias would have been a better label, but don't forget they're using the buchla, terminology.
That's right.
Yeah,
using the terminology.
Resonance is resonance, as you would expect. It's a feedback amount for the resonance, and then you've got the CV amount. And the CV amount obviously is controlled through that CV input on the bottom left, and then you've got your in and out. Well. It's pretty basic. Although I have to admit, you can see the electronics and you see the Vactrals in there. It's a pretty beefy. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. I feel like it's quite a beefy module. So, $275 is the price for this sucker. But so this is where I'm coming from. If you had, say, you went and you got the Behringer System 55 modules, all the Moog stuff, but you actually wanted to have a low pass gate. You kind of wanted to introduce a little buchlery sort of feel to your East Coast and your West Coast, a bit of a marriage. I reckon it would look pretty schmick with the the black sort of Behringer System 55 modules. That's one of the reasons why I brought it up. And the other reason is because people in the Europe region will be able to have this, but it won't be obviously the cadmium sulfide version.
Just got one point to make. It's not eurorack.
Oh, really?
No.
Did I miss the boat on this, did I?
No. Scroll down to the bottom of your info sheet. Width is 1 Moog unit.
Oh, it's a Moog unit. Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Oh, that's a shame.
It's still good to look at, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they will do a... It looks like it easily fit in a eurorack module.
Doesn't it?
It's crying out.
Well,
in fact, the
look
fact
at
that it's
that.
used such a... using
Electronics,
yeah, look at a small... Why would you make a small daughter board like that and have your jacks and everything separate unless you had plans to do something?
Oh, that's a shame. $275 anyway if you want it. Who has a Moog unit module? I think there's a few guys on the channel that I know of that have them. Yeah. So maybe that's up here.
Has a massive thing, doesn't he? The big Moog thing.
Yeah, Robin's got one. Who else? A few other blokes. Yeah. Anyway, now this next one was actually going to be for Daren to do. Sorry, good pick up there, Chris, by the way. I actually didn't even realise that.
No.
The Behringer Skies is the next one we want to talk about. And luckily for us, we get to watch another Behringer video. We're not going to watch the 14-minute version of it, though. If you are wondering... Okay, so this is, yes, another clone from Behringer. They've cloned something, but this time they've cloned something that the guy that made these has allowed us to clone. So it's a ethical clone this time.
This is the one with the source code shared and open source. Yep.
And this is Immutable Instruments Clouds, if you're wondering what it is. It's exactly that. Now, I was hoping, I didn't realise we had this ARP show coming straight after mine, and I was gonna, maybe I've got time, I don't know, maybe if you guys don't want to watch the ARP show and you want to watch me play with a clouds module, because it is basically a pretty rudimentary granular synth.
Yeah.
And you may think to yourself, I kind of want to check this out, because these things are going to hit the shelves at about 90 to 99 US, right? Which is dirt cheap. It's so cheap. And I don't know if I love the graphics on it, to be fair. I feel like it's kind of muddling my mind a bit.
A spare rattle can of spray paint will fix that.
Oh, absolutely.
Bit of masking.
Oh, you could put the mutable instruments decal on there if you wanted to. It'll almost fit.
Does anyone want to start making replacement panels?
Yeah, great idea. There's a guy. Anyway, 18 HP if you're wondering. Now, if you're into these things, what is it? You've never ever heard of a mutable instruments clouds. Basically, it's kind of it's a 2-trick pony module. It's got more than 2 tricks, but it's basically a 2-trick pony. It's got the granular synth engine, and it's also got this really nice convoluted reverb system in it, which I kind of feel almost has its own little flavor of reverb. A lot of people say that they actually really like the reverb in it. I've always wanted to know if they've copied anything in that reverb, and what is it that they've copied. But anyway, that's fine. I don't really care if they have. But the reverb has pitch shifting effects in it as well. And the other thing that's cool about it is you can see this, you just have to look. It's got stereo inputs, stereo outputs, so you can actually have that spatial sort of audio processing from this, which is one of the really big solid points with it. And people who have got hawk eyes will notice that it's a USB-C connection on the front panel, which is a lovely little thing that Behringer have done. So that I will say, I tip my hat. Well done, Behringer, for doing that.
Guys. Life stuff.
There's been a stack of firmware you can get for this stuff over the years. So there is also hacked firmware for the clouds. I'm hoping that this will take the hacked firmware. I don't really know. But yeah, and obviously the elephant in the room is the big freeze button top left. And I think, Ted, you were looking at that, weren't you, mate? You were thinking, I'm going to freeze everything in my modular. It does a really good job of it, actually.
Yeah. I wish they'd have done something more with the panel, though. It's hideous.
It's hideous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
There's been a few like that, though, hasn't there?
Yeah.
It's a shame, because...
Yeah,
Get the spray paint.
People have said that also the form factor could have been shrunken. There are some other alternate modules that have taken the clouds concept and squeezed it a bit, which would have been handy.
Let's see what they come up with anyway. All sounds of the clouds.
What's up, all you mad modulists out there? I hope you're doing good. Well, you requested it, you waited for it, and today the madness begins. A module that's just endlessly fun, endlessly tweakable, and completely insane, based on the wonderful mutable instruments clouds. Introducing Behringer Skies. So, what is Skies? Well, simply...
All right, we don't need to do that. But you guys got a bit of a demo of it, and I thought, yeah, that'll do. That works. Yeah. What do you guys think? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay? Are you happy? Are you sad? Give us your thoughts.
The clouds module was one of the first I got. Really, I like that clouds.
Yeah, I missed the whole mutable instruments era.
Yeah.
So this is kind of new to me. I've known about it for a while, and I've certainly seen a lot of people's setups, and I kind of vaguely understood what it did. But I have to admit, watching this video very much explained to me much more what it is, and I now kind of get it a bit more than I did before, I think. So Behringer
Didn't they release an upgrade called Beads runs that give you a lot more sample time? Was it Beads?
Memory blank.
Yeah.
You might be right. Memory blank, though.
I think that
Yeah.
the buffer was a bit bigger.
I remember there was a time when if someone said to you, "Oh, you're going to get into eurorack?" Okay, there's 2 modules that you must have. Start off your kit with, get the make noise maths and get the mutable instruments clouds, and then whatever else you chuck into those, they'll be useful. One's a modulation module and one's an effects module, and everything else just will, you'll be happy that you've got those 2. For me, they were kind of like almost your building blocks. And I mean, obviously we've moved on since those days, but even today, I still feel there's probably an element of truth in that. I just think that was just really well done in its time, and I don't think anything's surpassed it really.
That's the thing. I found it interesting being explained what it is now, that's almost 10 years old or something. It's still quite impressive, design that Emily has done. So I kind of, hats off to her, because this is going to be, as I said, it's obviously going to be something that's going to last for a long time. It's going to be one of those classics that that we talk about. So it's always good to see versions of it, in my opinion. I don't know about.
I would say though that it's good that they've released something that's affordable as well, because a lot of the clones are still quite expensive. So
They were.
hats off to them for that.
They are pretty pricey. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've sort of steered away from them. But I also didn't really understand it, so now I'd probably look at it all with different eyes now that I've learned a bit more about it. It's actually interesting. I've actually bought a few. I mean, there's been a few granular type products that kind of I now understand kind of overlap this, and I'm not sure if maybe I would have been better off getting something like this rather than those other products, for example.
Yeah.
This might have gelled me more. It's just that it's one of those things that takes time to. You need to have it properly explained, and you need to look into it better to really understand a module and how it might fit into your system. Too little time, though.
I will
too much
admit,
YouTube, too little time.
it is an algorithm, and like a lot of algorithms out there, you have to feed it the way it wants you to feed it.
Yep.
So, having said that, there will be limitations and frustrations around that fact, because you'll be thinking, oh, I wish it could do, and you could list a whole bunch of things that you wish it could do. And that's really just because its only trick is those 2 areas where I said I was being very general, but really the 2 tricks are it's a granular synth and it's that reverb effect on it. What you can do inside that is limited, but it's still pretty expansive. There's menu options. There's some, the freeze, the pitch, the time. You can play it as well. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's cool.
There's the voltage per octave input, which you can see.
Yeah, playing it was a good demo. He did a quick little demo of playing the sort of an ambient noise that he sort of generated, and that was kind of like, ooh. That's cool.
It's a button to tune it
doing
on.
that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to tune things when you have it in the only thing that's in the mix. Everything's in tune.
Yeah. Well, he had the
Until you
bearing
bring
the
something
brains.
else in, it's like
He had the bearing of brains going into it, which is the Platts module. So
Yeah.
Both digital. Oh, excuse me. Both digital. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting release. Kind of out of the blue. I didn't expect...
I wasn't... I wasn't expecting it either.
I was wondering when they were going to do it. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder why they haven't, But now we know. There's no reason. They just didn't get around to it, I guess. But I don't know if you guys saw in the video, but there's that shot. I'll just bring it up again so you guys can see it. This is not the shot I was thinking of, but this is just like a little... gives you an idea of, collect them all type thing. Do you know what I mean? Stay in our ecosystem, guys. Yeah. But you can see with that decal that I was saying before, I just kind of feel like it's leading me to places that the knobs and the functions aren't.
Yes.
And I just don't get it. Yeah. So they failed on that big time.
Yeah, it's a bit distracting.
Anyway, the contrast
maybe
in
they're trying to make it look like you've got thousands of patch cables before you put the patch cables in.
Yeah, I don't know. They're trying to be unique. People will like it. Don't get me wrong. People used to absolutely bitch about the Roland Ira series with the green and the black, and they used to bitch about it. And I never used to have a problem with it. And I'm sure people will be like I'm bitching about this. And other people will think, what's wrong? I like it. It's cool. It looks nice. I like the color choices. I mean, you guys...
There's no accounting for taste.
Yeah, that's
Everyone's got it. Just different.
Right. What else have we got? We've got some interesting stuff this week. Chris, I would have given you more if I'd known you were the only one here. But anyway, I'll handle it. I mean, this was supposed to be Daren's, because I know he's had a clouds for years, and that's why I wanted him to do it. Which would have been nice, because he would have had his opinion about this. I'm sure he's probably watching. Anyway, big shout out to you, mate. Don't work too hard.
Let's throw the wardrobe at the screen on a hammer.
Yeah, throw the hammer at the screen.
Yeah, throw something.
Next thing is this. This kind of popped in really late news during the week, and this is by a company we've talked about before, Rides in the Storm. And I'm just going to put the link up for you guys. Hopefully this works, this link. Give it a second for it to appear. The link is there underneath the title anyway, if you guys want to type it in manually. This is a Eurorack case called the Storm Nest. And there it goes. Why is it given off? I've done the wrong one. Sorry, News 4. Oh, I can count.
Yeah.
Or did I forget to do the Berengus, guys? Well, there you go. You've got the link to that.
Well, there you go. You're catching up. That's all.
Yeah.
You totally meant to do that.
I have had a couple of beers too, so do apologise. There you go. Rides in the Storm Nest. This is a pretty sexy looking Eurorack case. It's been built purely for people that want a gig life, and this is kind of its ethos. It's a portable case for those who like to travel, but what they're saying, it's portable yet fully powered. So it's crafted with lightweight. Now I'm going to say aluminium. You might say aluminum. I don't care.
However you like to say it. Yes.
It's that metal that's lightweight,
but it's
and it gives you a bit of a durable but lightweight sort of. I like that idea actually. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so you've got 2 rows of 66 HP, which gives you a total of 132 HP. If those like to know what that is. The modules can be up to 33 millimeters, which I think it's kind of shallow.
Yeah, 33.
And you can see that. Wow. That's why I like this picture, because it shows that it is looking a little shallow.
Yeah.
So if you've got deep modules, like the 2 HP ones tend to be quite deep, it might be a problem. So just bear that in mind. But you've got 1 amp or 1000 milliamps on your plus and minus 12 rails.
Oh, good.
And you've got half an amp on your 5 volt, which no one really cares about, unless you're powering like an LED light or something, or charging your phone, and it's not going to be enough to charge your phone anyway.
I don't think them anymore. It's
got 20 shrouded headers for modules, so you can literally plug not 20 modules in unless you've got doubles. USB-C port provides 0.5 amps for powering external devices as well, which is, I'm guessing, is that 5 volt thing.
Makes sense.
The size of it, you're looking at 350 mil wide, 285 mil deep, and 35 mil with the total chassis included height. 1.1 kilos. That's light. That's without modules, obviously, guys. The power supply is external. Let me just actually I'll grab that.
Brick power supply.
Yeah, it is. But if I grab the blog article, which I've already posted, you guys can have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now, actually.
You'll see there is actually, let me just minimize this, go here. We can see there's what it looks like with cables plugged in, which some people hate and I like. But if I scroll down here, it shows you it in a little baggie with the power supply and the strap and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, I thought that was for to put over your eyes when you're flying from one set to the other on the aeroplane. You know those.
So this includes what you're seeing. It includes the power supply, it includes the bag with the strap and the case as well. And the desktop stand, which you can see there, you're wondering what the other thing was, the metal thing, that's the desktop stand, and it has 6 different positioning options on it. $256 for this sucker, and it's available now. And I just thought it was kind of cool. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I like it. I just wish that the power supply would be a bit more beefier.
Well, do you need it? I mean, 20 modules. Let's say you put 20 modules in there. That's a fair bit.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a bitbox 1010 bitbox Mark II in there, you're talking about an amp already.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it needed to be 2 amps.
Upgradable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they might offer an option for that. Someone might be able to check that out. I actually didn't get to that level of checking.
I mean, it's a great looking case, isn't it? I mean, it's like IntelliGel-esque, isn't it?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very clean, very crisp. It's an interesting choice too to put. I was just gonna say it's an interesting choice to put the bottom of the modules is very small, like border, and in the middle they decided to put most of their structure, which is not a choice they often use. It's just slightly different geometrically.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything here about. Okay, it says it includes an external power supply, which is 3 amps.
Yeah, that'll be 15 volts probably.
These are different specs to what I got given here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting.
So maybe that's their maximum spec. So it probably does 1.5 amps.
Yeah.
Which is better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's interesting how it does 3 amps on the power supply and you're not really using it. Why do they need headroom?
13 volt, 3 amp, 39 watt power supply. So
1.5 plus 1 and plus 0.8. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got they're fairly efficient switch mode sort of buck regulators in these little power supplies and for cases that use a single supply, so they're pretty good efficiency. I think they're like 90 something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a case. Next. Next thing is not a eurorack module, and you guys may be thinking, yay. Well, that's cool. This is by a Japanese company called Home Bake Instruments. They don't have a D on the end of bake, so I kind of got a little bit kind of weird with that language use, but I get it. Language translation probably, right? Anyway, this is the Mark II for the Grooves little module thing, and it's basically a compact Groovebox synth, and it has a whole bunch of little kind of cool features in it. Like it's got a 7-track groove synthesizer, comprises of 6 drum parts and 1 bass part. and it has wavetable synths, which utilizes over 200 different waveforms. And I won't go into what it includes. There's a lot. 64 pattern sequencer with 16 steps and 64 pattern slots. It's got a send, effect, delay, side change functionality, a phrase suggestion function which generates unexpected and creative sequences. So it's got kind of like a generative sequence creator. Pretty compact with 150mm by 100mm little sort of circuit boardy type platform thing that you'd imagine. I'll show you the video in a sec. You'll get to see the size of it. And you can sync to sync 1 and 2 and 1-to-1 standards. And it does operate off a center positive 5-volt power supply, so you can power it off of USB. And it does come with a power supply when you buy it. Now, I'm going to show you the video, and then afterwards I'm going to show you the difference between Mark 1 and Mark 2, because this is not really a second suck of the salve, but you know what? I feel like we should probably say it is. Don't you reckon, Chris?
Yeah.
Because it's the second
It's a
time.
Mark II.
It's a Mark II. So we'll give it a second suck of the salve badge for the week. I don't know why it's not showing it. There we go. Yay! Here we go. No, we'll do it this way. Second suck of the salve.
There you go.
Now let's get video
Makes me
happening.
hungry.
Yeah. Nothing like a Savoy when you're hungry. Where's my little video button? There we go. Here we go. Video's pretty much finished anyway. That is it. That is the... why are we doing that? We go there. That is the Grooves Mark II. Now, probably thinking to yourself, which I kind of alluded to before, what's the difference between the Mark I and the Mark II? I'm glad you asked. It's in the article, by the way. Did I actually do the news? What are we doing? News. What are we on now? 5? Are we on news? Let me do that. News 5. Is that the right one? Not the blog link. Anyway, let's wait for that. The difference between Mark 1 and Mark II, if you're wondering, is there's one extra track. So there's an extra drum track. So there's 6 drum parts instead of 5. The sequencer is the same pretty much. The wavetable synth has more waveforms, including some more of the traditional waveforms on it. It is the right link. Good. Now, the big thing is the size and everything is actually the same, but this one is a stereo device, whereas the previous one was a mono device. So this one has stereo outputs with the delay being a stereo delay, plus it's a send effect, and it also has the sidechain feature as well. This also has that phrase suggestion algorithm in it, which the other one didn't have, which is actually a pretty cool thing. There's a bit of extra features with the filters, the LFO, There's an accent control in this now, and USB-C powered as opposed to the other one not being. So that will be keeping people happy. So yeah, $279 and there's limited stock available through places like Boutique Pedal and Reverb. But there'll be links to those from their website. So if you go to that blog article of mine, down the bottom you'll see the link to their website, and then you can find out where you can buy it from there. I think $279's personally, I think that's a little on the pricey side. But you know, might be something up your alley. What do you guys think?
Sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Still, it still amazes me in the amount of good stuff that's coming out on these tiny little CPUs. Like that's a Raspberry Pi 2040, the top of the unit there. You know, it's out and proud, which is obviously, you know, the whole ethos, design ethos of the visual design language is, you know, it's a, you know, it's circuit, it's wearing its circuits on its sleeve, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It sounded, proof is in the pudding. It sounded quite funky to me, so quite enjoyed it.
Okay, now we are going to go to the last one. I believe it's the last one, which is the 6th news item of today. And this is kind of interesting. I don't really normally show, well, I have in the past, but not often. This is a kind of a mod project. If you own a Yamaha CS10, a couple of different CS models between the CS10 and the CS30, this will actually give you a bunch of functionality. And there's quite a lot of people who are big with this early Yamaha CS. There's actually a really buzzing community with this stuff, by the way. If you are an owner of a Yamaha CS30, for example, you may actually be really interested in this. This is the Topotec CES. So like I said, it's a mod kit, and it's an upgrade for your Yamaha, and it gives you MIDI in and out. It gives you CC control for things like cutoff and resonance. For the CS15 and 30, it gives you independent control of both filters. Obviously, the CS10 only has one. It actually gives you an extra LFO for a filter or multiple waveforms and optional MIDI clock sync. There's velocity and aftertouch that can be linked to cutoff, LFO frequency. The CS30 has a sequencer, so that can be clocked via MIDI now, or MIDI note, and adjustable MIDI clock divider with many options. Also, it's got an extended note range for the MIDI output. So obviously the keyboard's finite because it's only, but this will give you extended note range, which is cool. So you're getting more out of the synth. There's, like I said, MIDI control via CC for additional parameters. There's building a configuration menu for you to quickly set additional stuff. Quite an easy install, apparently. It just requires a little bit of soldering, but no traces need to be cut or anything sort of nasty like that. And it's fully additive, so it does not change the behavior or sound of the original synth, which is really, really important. And they reckon there's kind of cool with the latency. It's like less than 1 milliseconds on the latency. So, you know, it's obviously translating MIDI to CV, right? Voltages. There is an optional hardware MIDI controller if you want to buy it through them. And there's actually a little video. So I thought, why not? Why don't we show the video? I'll just pause it for a sec. By the way, if you haven't heard a Yamaha CS, you're about to, because they sound friggin' awesome. Here we go.
CES is an upgrade for Yamaha CS10, CS15 and CS30 synthesizers. It adds MIDI input and output for the keyboard and MIDI CC control for filter cutoff and resonance, independently for both filters. Up to 2 additional filter LFOs, featuring multiple waveforms and a MIDI sync option, can be accessed via MIDI CC. MIDI velocity and aftertouch can be assigned to various parameters such as filter cutoff or the speed and modulation depth of the additional LFOs. The CS30 sequencer can be synced to the MIDI clock with an adjustable clock divider. Alternatively, it can be clocked with a special MIDI note. A built-in config menu lets you adjust MIDI channels and other basic parameters. An optional controller provides direct access to the new functions and connects easily via MIDI.
There we go. What a cool little package for those people who want to get themselves a little upgrade kit for their Yamaha CS10, CS15 and CS30. And I think really good job from Tubatech, or however you say their names. Tubatech. Yeah, I just want to quickly let's head over to their website. Let me just get rid of that message that's popped up.
That's a CS10's a funky synth.
The CS30 is one of my favorite. I would love to own one of those. I absolutely love it. It's a behemoth of a mono synth. Anyway, there's quite a lot in here. I don't know if it's coming out. Maybe I should zoom a little bit. Like I said, there's quite a lot in here. There's MIDI note control, filter control, additional LFOs, sequences stuff if you've got the CS30. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. The configuration menu, which he did show a little bit in there. Yeah, and then you can buy this controller. And the reason why I wanted to go here is because I wanted to show you the controller page. This is the controller you can get. So actually really nicely designed controller, I thought.
Yeah, isn't this their bread and butter?
This is their bread and butter, yeah.
Yeah, they're very good at it. Very nice.
Yeah. Now, price-wise, we can double check that. I just want to quickly pop back over to... Ooh. What happened there?
Interesting.
Yes. Indeed. There we go. The controller... Oh, there's a bunch of different controllers. Okay, so if we're choosing the CEES, the C's controller, is €255, including VAT. So obviously, if you're in a country that doesn't pay VAT, there would be... what country are they in? Germany, are they? So what's VAT in Germany? Is it 15 or 20%? I forget now. I think it's 15, isn't it, Germany? Someone will correct me. Anyway, take your percentage off. And there's obviously shipping costs on top of that. Still pretty cheap, considering these are very boutique custom things that they've done. Anyway, I know there's a hell of a lot of people out there that are really into this, like I said, the Yamaha CS synths, the mono synths. And they've got a real sort of cult following at the moment because they have, I don't know if it's unique sound, but they definitely have there's an ambience about their sound that's kind of different to the other synths. And yeah. Have you guys had much experience with the Yamaha CS stuff?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if you can get yourself in front of one, just maybe, as a small thing to tick on your bucket list. It would be a cool thing. I mean, obviously the CS80 is the flagship here, but
yeah.
There's not as many of those around as there are of these. So,
no.
Yeah.
So these are presumably predecessors to that in terms of synth history?
Kinda.
CS, yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Or did they come out at the same time?
Yeah, there's some that have sort of appeared at the same time and some that didn't. Yeah. So some are before, some are during, and yeah.
But my CS80 was,
my favorite out of those is the 30. I absolutely love the 30. It's a really, really cool synth, and I would, I'd still love to get my hands on one. I don't know, it's just ergonomically, as a playable mono synth, it's pretty cool. Two filters on it. It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for the news, guys. So you made it. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Well done. Yep, we had 6 news articles. Did I actually post a link for news 6? I did. Yes. Yay, I'm being good today. And I'm liking how the algorithm's working. Cool. Can't complain, can we? Things are working all of a sudden. So, what would you guys get?
Quiz runs.
Synth quiz? Yep, good memory. Yep.
Excellent. Good.
We'll do that in a sec, but what would you guys get out of this week's gambit of offerings?
Couldn't go past the clouds for the price.
Pretty cheap.
It'll be a long time before it turns up here.
I kind of feel like I want to buy a CS30 and get that mod.
To get you want to buy the kit and then just take the synth on the end.
The kit,
Yeah.
the controller.
Can I get a kit too as well? Can I get a CS? Yeah. Is there an option to, add 20,000 or whatever it is?
I mean, if you bought a CS30, you'd have to spend a bit of coin on getting it up and running and
stuff,
nice and stuff. So spending €500 on that sort of stuff wouldn't really raise an eyebrow. I mean, it deserves it. It's a vintage synth that you're going to look after. Yeah. And we had a couple of eurorack modules as well, which one wasn't a eurorack module, which I thought it was. That's caught me before, actually.
The AM one would probably be something I'd get, but because of the shipping and because it's such a simple module, it's one of those ones I'd be tempted to sort of
You do it yourself.
take further. Yeah, we'll take it further, slightly different direction, and create something a little more substantial.
Yeah, it's a pity about the shipping, isn't it? Just a pity for us, anyway.
In general, yes.
I mean, for Steve, he probably might even get it chucked in an envelope for free.
Have it this afternoon. There you go.
Yeah, knock on Rob's front door. Hey, Rob, give me module. No, it's a bit of a drive, I think.
Take my money. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, let's do the synth quiz second clue. Why not? So it's like a good idea, I feel. Good time to do it. I mean, like I said before, you guys should be able to get it this week. There's your second clue. It does say ring-noise, by the way. Ring-noise. I'm going to have to fix these little font issues here. It's truncating the G. So yeah, ring-noise is your second clue. So Ranzee, synth quiz, guess is the format that I want it in, please. And we'll get to the third clue soon, shortly. But why don't we say, before we get into let's do it a little bit different this week. Why don't we do How's Your Week Been, Chris?
Okay.
Should we do that?
If you want, yes, sure.
Yeah. Starting with you, Chris. How's your week been?
Cheeky. Yeah, it's been pretty good. I don't know if I said on the stream, thought I was coming down with a cold at the end of last week. It wasn't a cold. It was, in fact, a raging sinus headache that I had for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I thought it was a toothache, which would have been worse, but it turned out it was a sinus headache. I get them occasionally, but haven't had it for a long time, so I've kind of forgotten about it and was reminded. So after getting past that, because that kind of puts a dent on things, I've been in the shop. I've been building modules. I'm building modules, new modules.
Yay.
Getting an inventory together of new modules to do a launch. I've been writing code, as you well know, continuing to write that code, doing the work, as they say. I installed the new Minifreak update for the vocoder feature on my Minifreak, which I've been playing around with. Newsflash, it isn't spectacular, but it isn't terrible as people say. It really depends on patch design, and I would also advise turning up the level of the microphone input sensitivity if it's too soft, because that makes a big difference. It's a little tip there. Apart from that, just domestic things. We had one of our light fixtures died. I had to cook a meal for one night, not knowing how to cook a meal. I did it under instruction. Yeah, what else happened? Nothing too crazy. Yeah, so that's pretty much been my week.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, it was this week because it's pretty much the same as last week
Nah.
with more soldering. I haven't been able to solder anything that I bought. It has to be things that I need to sell because obviously I need to sell things in order to buy new things. Get it in the right order this time.
Fair enough. Well, why don't we go across to Steve? Now, I don't have a little label for you, Steve, but you can let us know how's your week been, mate.
Oh, it's been quite busy, to be honest, because I've had to get all my Jasper stands connected up for audio and MIDI. So I've had a Digiface for quite some time, but I've bought a load of the ADA 8200s. So I've got one in the back of that rack over there, and one in the rack here, and all connected up via ADAT. And I bought some of the iConnectivity Mio XL. I've got the Mio XL and the Mio XM, so that I can RTP over Ethernet all the MIDI from that Jasper's rack and the other Jasper's rack here. So I can play everything from a controller in front of me now, which is really good. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Once you get those things configured, it's worth it, isn't it? In the end, worth the pain.
It was a bit of a head scratcher, to be honest. I mean, to get the RTP working took me about 2 hours. I mean, it looks dead simple when you can see it on their YouTube video, but they skirt over a load of issues, which,
Yeah.
I mean, if I hadn't have had a Mac, I'd have probably still been doing it if it had been Windows. It's a nightmare doing anything in Windows.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just been upgrading stuff. I upgraded Serum to Serum 2, which is a free upgrade if you bought it from them, which is great. So I've done that. Dean put out a video during the week just testing his new live stream that he did, and he was sampling into the Bitbox Mark II and did like a dub techno track, which was really good. So I've been playing about doing that as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Good week. Lots of progress, guys. Okay. Well, what we'll do then is we'll go with the next segment, which is Price Watch. We don't have Andy. That's okay. I made sure you guys got some doozies this week. Some absolute doozies, and I'll load the bits and pieces as we get them in. Now, the first one you can see here, I don't know why it's showing that one. Let's fix that. We'll get to that one. Don't worry. First one here is the correct one. Is the Roland? Oh, and you guys now haven't you disappeared enough today? Okay, let's fix that. So, Chris, you're in the right spot. Let's put.
That's good.
Let's put Steve there, and then chatties. Yeah, that'll do. Randomize it. All right. So Roland CR 8000. This one I thought was interesting because the guy kind of alludes on this reverb listing that it's a TR 808, and I don't know if I kind of like that. I don't know if I like that. Anyway, if you're in Australia, it's about 1,400 Aussie or 700-ish pounds if you want to buy this on Reverb. It reckons that it's got no scratchy pots or buttons and they're all working fine. Yeah, so it's got 3 brand new Panasonic cell batteries in it. Very good cosmetic condition. Let's have a look at the Reverb listing. I don't know. I kind of thought these things were quite sexy in the day. When they were around, they actually used to really. Well, I wanted to buy one. I remember.
Yes, just gonna say I like anything with the word CompuRhythm written on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, don't say it's like a TR-808 because it ain't.
It ain't. Yeah.
I mean it. Yeah. It's like a 78 maybe. A CR78 that is. 68. 68? CR68, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty good nick, isn't it? If you were wanting to get one of these, pretty good nick, I feel. And what would you pay 700 quid for it, Steve? I don't know if you're really into these things.
Not today, no. No.
There's a lot to go wrong, isn't there, on something like this?
Yeah.
Because it's got digital, digital circuitry in there that could fail. Once that digital circuitry fails, it's going to be very hard to replace.
It's obsolete components as well.
Yeah.
It's one thing fixing stuff, it's whether you can get the parts.
Yeah. Well, that was the reason why I showed that one, because I was kind of a bit butthurt about the TR-808 claim on it. The next one, I'm afraid, has been sold, but I have to show it. Because I love Commodore 64s. And this is actually a custom-built circuit-bent synth with this custom cartridge called Synth Cart. And I was like, I don't know if it's sold for $249 US. I would have probably bought it for that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, it's on eBay. You can still look at it. I'll give you guys the link. The link for all the Price Watch stuff is obviously in the blog article. But here it is here. And I can show you some pictures.
Oh, that masking tape is never going to come off now.
Oh yeah, but that's part of the charm, isn't it? It's custom
You
as
leave it
hell.
on, I think.
Yeah.
I think you just leave it alone.
But this guy, he's literally made his own synth, and he's designed his own cartridge. And this is the software for the synth card.
I wonder who bought it. Where is this being sold?
It's been sold on eBay, but it's sold. It's gone. Doesn't say who sold it, bought it.
But it is what country? I didn't see.
Oh, I'll pop back out in 1 sec and we'll have a look. There's the synth cart, custom synth cartridge. Bit of power supply goodness, and a little monitor.
Little monitor.
Anyway, where are we? Let's go back here now, don't I? It was in California.
Okay, America, yeah. If it was in the UK, I reckon certain Sam Battle would have picked that one up pretty quickly, I would have thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Looked great in the museum.
But how cool is that? Custom cartridge. How often do you see stuff like that? I thought really, really cool. Next one, this one I keep finding cool things. How about this? The Roland PMA 5. It's a portable sequencer with a stylus case.
Whew, I thought it was just a power supply.
I forgot about these things. I actually remember these things.
Stylus synth, okay.
Yeah, it's a little sequencer. Wait till you see the photos. This is actually really cool. So this is actually live on eBay now. They want about $300 US for it.
I recognise those manuals.
Yeah, it's got the smoker's stain on them already.
Yeah, when Roland manuals used to be good and substantial.
Yeah.
You could smack someone over the head with them.
Anyway, it's got everything. It's got the original cover. That's what it looks like. But wait till you see how you plug your gear into it. Right? Not that view. But that view. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Do you remember those...
microdin.
Yeah, microdin connections? So Roland and Yamaha were using them at one stage. Both of them. There's your MIDI.
I'm sure we've all broken one or two of those.
So this
it's got real MIDI inputs out.
Yeah. This is kind of interesting thing. So back in the day when this thing came out, it's the kind of the dawn of the digital age for Roland, and people wanted to lay their sequences down on this thing.
Cool.
But some people don't really like the price. Wagyu doesn't like it, so. But it's you're not buying. If you're buying this, you're not buying it to use it. You're buying it to collect it. That's why you're buying this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there. The fun keeps going, guys. I found some more cool stuff for you. How about, I think we've had a look at one of these before, the Triple D5. But this one's been circuit bent. Have a look at that, eh?
they banana plugs?
They are.
No.
Well, let's have a quick look. Let's have a closer look. Banana
Looks as
plugs.
if it's been dropped.
Yeah,
Don't
dropped
know
on its
about-
head.
Don't know about circuit bent. It looks bent.
It looks bent.
Yeah, it would be after it's been dropped, yeah.
That is an interesting looking thing on
It
the
is
side,
interesting.
isn't it? Eh? What is it doing?
Mm.
There's no labels.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the classic circuit bending. You don't label. My God, why would you label it? Then you'd know exactly
Yeah.
what goes where. That's not what you're trying to do here. It's probably, I wonder if does it say anything about how it's circuit bent? Because it wouldn't be surprised if it's the classic,
Yeah, we'll go and have a
solder
look at
wires
that.
onto the address bus and see what happens when you corrupt the data stream type.
Oh, it's upside
Random
down.
patterns and whatnot.
Don't know why they took that photo upside down. You could have turned it around the other way. Anyway, let's have a look. Circuit bent drum machine has banana jack patch bay mounted to the side. Functions normally with nothing patched, but can get into heavy distortion, bit crushing, and chip tune territory when it's patched. It comes with several patch cables and a power supply.
Yeah, it sounds
Modified
like it's,
by the artist on the back.
Yeah, it sounds like it's probably shorting out pins on the address bus for the sample memory.
Right.
If you're doing things like bit crushing, basically you turn half your bits to zeros all the time, and it leaves you with only 4 bits of information. There you go.
Yeah.
Just got bit crushing.
Yeah. Rudimentary bit crushing anyway. It's not like gradual bit crushing, right?
No,
It's not like you're
literally
bit crushing the audio, you're bit crushing the
data.
actual data itself,
Yeah, exactly.
which is a different way of bit crushing, but possible. It still gets better because now you can also get yourself a Korg BPX3. This is like the Moog Taurus, but this is Korg's version of it. And I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. So I was really intrigued at this. It's $649 US or 650. This one's based in Virginia in the US. And I need to do that. If you click on the photo in Reverb, it expands it. But if you click on it in eBay, it zooms. It's frustrating. I always do the wrong thing. Anyway, not really sure how this sounds. But yeah, interesting enough. Chuck it on your keyboard, under your keyboard, I should say. Well, on and under. That goes on, and the pedals go under. Anyway, has anyone ever heard a BPX3? Kent's not in today, is he? He probably would have.
No.
There you
got
go.
swallowed by a dinosaur.
Indeed. Or he's been visiting volcanoes. There's a couple going off at the moment. What else? I do have one last thing, and it also is from Korg, and it also, if Eddie was watching, he'd be a happy camper. Well, maybe not, because he loves guitar synths. Big shout out to Eddie, by the way. There is the X911. 911. Ring it and the cops come. Well, maybe if you play it, the cops might come. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is actually a guitar synth. I have seen one. I don't know if it's this one. I don't know if they made others. Maybe it was this one. Anyway, geez, it looked a bit like a Roland product at the time. It really did, with those buttons.
Yeah, the buttons covered.
But geez, this one looks like it's in a pretty bad nick. But let me just go to that view. Yes, it was owned by a guitar player. I mean, what do you want, You don't need to look after the synth. Just let it get dusty and scratched and rusty. It still works.
Screws rust, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I wonder what the delay from strumming your guitar to the sounds coming out would have been like on this thing.
You can compensate for that, Rance. Just play differently.
You literally had to learn to play differently.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was that? That was 450. There you go. So
Bit of history, but yeah.
Interesting things, hey, this week.
Yeah.
Anything perking the ears or No?
Oh, I'll have the copy-written, thanks. Not for the price, but...
Yeah. I mean, I used to like them, but I don't like them as much now because I kind of, I kind of feel like I've moved a different way.
Yeah.
Guys in chat were saying, a few people were saying that the what was it? Where are we? The Roland PMA5, the portable sequencer. They were finding that interesting, and there was a time where I remember going to a music store when I was a kid. I would have been like not even a teenager. I probably would have been like 10 or 11 or something. And at that stage, I was a piano student. So you guys have got to kind of think to yourself, right? I'm a kid, very little world experience, and 10 or 11 years old. Like I'm just my son at the moment is that age, and I was learning piano, and I'd go down to the music store to buy sheet music. But in the music store is all the electronic music, your synths and a range of keyboards and things like of the day of the 80s, right? And I don't know what age I was when that particular Roland thing came out, but I'm pretty sure
it does.
It was around then. I was pretty sure it was like 80s. Yeah, late 80s or something. Anyway, I do remember seeing, the Boss Dr. Rhythms in the corner and some of the Yamaha synths, the Roland synths, the Korg synths. And then there was this kind of little sort of portable section, and they, it was kind of intriguing for me because I was into I remember at the time my dad bought a portable TV from Tandy, and it was like a little handheld TV, And in the days, they didn't have LCD screens, right? There was
CRT.
There were CRTs.
Yeah,
and I remember this thing, and I don't know why he bought it, but he was into gadgets. And then I used to go to this music store, and they had these little portable sequencers, and I thought, what is this thing? It looks really, really cool. I should probably get it back up while we're talking about it, eh? But you just got to think you're a little 11-year-old, 10-year-old kid.
Yeah. Might capture the imagination, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but that photo there, that is what I remember looking at, that screen, thinking, that's so cool. What does that do? Yeah. Because it's hard to sort of imagine because of all the stuff that we've gone through in history with computers and everything now. But that looked really complex and exciting to have all that on a screen. When you think about it, at home, I probably had a Commodore 64. And, it was huge. Big, TV screen, and seeing something like that. I don't know, I just kind of thought it was cool. And I never bought it because I think it was pretty expensive in the day.
Oh, yeah. Would have been.
And I probably wouldn't have known what to do with it. And I don't think I would have had a synth either to plug it into. So that might have been a challenge. Maybe my dad, I don't even know. Dad's not even around anymore to ask because he passed away. But I'm pretty sure that it would have been, you've got to buy this, but you also need this to use it with. Yeah. And Dad would have gone, no, sorry, mate, you're not getting that. It's way out of our budget. Just go back home and play the piano and shut up.
Yeah, well, at least you're playing pianos. I was playing drums, so me as a drummer going into music stores and always looking at all the synths and stuff. So I was in a punk band, so synths were not a thing. In punk bands, it was all about guitars. So I was also playing guitar as well, but for fun. But it was mainly about drums.
But you weren't in a punk band when you were 10, though, were you?
No, not when I was 10. No,
yeah,
that was more like when I was 15. But
yeah,
but yeah, no. Well, I was probably rehearsing. Not when I was 10. Oh, you're right. Yeah, good point. 15. But yeah, I do remember going into the music stores and seeing all the synths and stuff and not knowing what the hell they were and being intrigued by them. But wasn't into it back then.
Now, we've got about 9 minutes before that stream starts. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are going to disappear and watch that. But that's fine. What we'll do is
quiz.
we'll get through the last synth quiz so that you guys have got that before you toddle off. So the last clue, I mean, gosh, you guys should have got this by now. And that is squeeze, spelled S-Q. No, not a spelling mistake. S-Q-E-E-Z, or Z, if you're from that part of the world. S-Q-E-E-Z or S-Q-E-E-Z. Sorry, I'm not doing any other languages. I'm just doing the two Englishes. And that's your third clue. You should be able to put your guesses in. So Ranzee, synth quiz, and then the guess. Please chuck it into chat. Look, I'm not going to say anything because if I say anything, it'll just give it away. You guys will know this. So you should know this. It's pretty easy. I've told you guys this before, that the only thing wrong with doing a synth quiz is if you guys Google synthesizer space and whatever that clue is, 9 times out of 10 you'll find the answer. And I kind of don't really want you guys to do that. I'd rather if you actually played it properly and just see if you knew what it was just by knowing, because you're more honest with yourself, right? But if you did do the googly way, you're going to get the answer, and you've got yourself to live with if you've cheated. That's fine. Well, if I told you how, it's not hard. Jeez, mate, that's not hard to work out. That's what you can do. That's pretty easy. All right, let a couple more people put their answers in. So we've only got, 1 or 2 people have put their guesses in. Yes. Come on. Or do you want me to give you the answer? How long should we wait? We can't wait too long. We've got a show to end soon. So, all right. Why don't we give you guys the answer? I think it was pretty easy, don't you guys? What do you think it was, Chris?
I haven't got a clue.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Don't know. So you guys are playing properly here.
Seeing some guesses coming in makes me think,
Yeah. Actually, there was one clue I was going to give, and I reckon it would have just given it away, like, straight away. And I'll tell you what that is in a sec after I reveal it. All right. The answer is the ASM Hydrasynth. Now, you could pick any ASM Hydrasynth. It would literally qualify. So I think Wagoo was first with his guess. It doesn't matter what version. It doesn't matter whether it's the what do you call it, the Explorer, or if it's the Deluxe, which is the dual engine. It's those 3 clues will get you into any of those. So anyone who guessed anything to do with ASM Hydrasynth would have been correct. So pat yourselves on the back. It's an easy one. I don't own a Hydrasynth, so but the other clue I was going to give you was PW. Hang on, I've got the thing up. It's got a cool pulse width modulation thing on here, right? So if you do own the Hydrasynth, it's got its own unique pulse width modulation thing, and I'm just trying to find the page, and I've lost it now. There's the Mutants, by the way, was the giveaway. That's why I put that one first. There's basically modules in the Hydrasynth called Mutant modules, and basically what they do is they have different modes and they stack, and they modify or they're types of oscillators. I don't know if they modify or they're kind of types of oscillators. So it's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, where are we? Let me just search. I'll just search. Oops. Did I get that? Yeah. So the other clue I would have given you was PW-ASM, and because ASM is their company name, I didn't do it. So instead, I did the squeeze. The squeeze spelt wrong, like that. It's actually the squeeze, if you're wondering, is a time compressed pulse with a modulation method, and this is for use these with the mutant modules. So you can do things like run all these different modes. So PW-ASM I was mentioning before is a customizable pulse width modulation via FM that targets specific sections of the waveform. Now, what's really cool is there's a couple of really cool videos on the YouTubes that go in and explain or demystify what PW-ASM does. But I absolutely love it. It's actually kind of a unique thing that ASM have done in their synth, and it kind of puts a different take on the way modulation works. So instead of it modulating across over time, it pinpoints things over that time. So it kind of almost like it's triggering or targeting certain aspects of the sections of the waveform, which I think is kind of cool. And it does some interesting results with that. So yeah, squeeze, time compressed pulse. That's why it's called squeeze. Love it. It's good, isn't it? Great. If you don't have a Hydra synth, aka me, buy one, because they are probably the modern flagship digital synth that you should have. And honestly, if you are going to buy one, get the deluxe, because that's got the poly touch keyboard on it,
and the twice polyphony,
the ribbon strip,
multi-timbrality.
You can use that as a controller in the rest of your studio as well. It's the way to go. If you got one, Steve, you got a Hydra synth?
No, I don't have one of those. No.
I mean, they've been around enough now for us to know what they are, right?
Yeah.
I think the newest thing I've got in here is a wave state. Yeah.
Me too. Model.
Yeah.
I'd like one. How does it compare with the Summit?
Different. Different. So you can have both, and they wouldn't compete, and they would compete, and they wouldn't compete. It's like all synths; they have crossovers,
they slightly overlap, but not very much.
Yeah. One of the things I think will really shock you is that the Hydra synth can sound very analog. They do exceptionally well with mimicking analog filters and things like that. Really, really well. Like, how you've probably heard a million different virus patches over the years, right? And you can tell they just don't quite get it there with some of their analog emulations. They're pretty good. They sound good. Viruses sound amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love a virus.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Hydra synth has nailed it. Yeah.
I've got one of them. I've got a Virus KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
What engine's in that? That's the 3, isn't it? Virus C?
Yeah, Virus C, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So, the C and the TI aren't much different. They aren't huge. But have you had a look at the Osiris project?
Yeah, I got it to work in the end.
Did you use your firmware to get it to work?
I did, to get mine working,
Yeah.
And then I know somebody who's got a TI too. Oh.
And use their firmware? Yeah. Well, there's other ways of doing it, but yeah.
So it's kind of legal.
This just sounds a grey area.
I mean, still to this day, it's a pretty amazing synth, isn't it? When you think when it was made,
classic,
to what it can do, still it's very, very cool. And when you start playing with some of the presets, you're just like, I've heard that, I've heard that, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's like a hit record machine, that one.
Yeah.
Especially in dance music.
Dance music and also movies, because it's like one of the best pad machines you could ever own.
Yeah, it would have been,
Yeah.
Before libraries, sound libraries, and massive sound orchestral sound libraries and stuff.
Yep. So the ARP thing is probably starting now. So if anyone wants to go off and watch that, I do. I don't mind. It doesn't worry me. We've pretty much got through the show. So what we're going to do now is we're going to officially launch our. Kent calls it the pub section. It's nice of him to say that because he has his own show. But we'll call it Saturday Sonority because that's what I originally called it 6 years ago. And we're opening the show to you guys. There's Zoom open. Steve's in there. There's room. We can do 100 people on Zoom if you want. But yeah, jump in if you want to. You know what I would love to be able to do? I would love to be able to put the ARP stream down in the bottom right-hand corner without getting a copyright claim.
Yes.
Because I could literally do that. Maybe we could do little sneak peeks or something. Can we do that? Let's have a
You
look.
could always hold your phone to the screen and camera, and then, hope the algorithm won't pick it up.
Let's see if we've got this. Just getting the link. There it is. Cool. We don't want that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Why is it not showing under live? Interesting. I'm not getting the live link. Okay, I have to go a different way. Don't worry about it. You guys can find it. I don't really need to show it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't really want to get in trouble just for shits and giggles. And also, I'll probably get permission actually because I know the person that runs it. Anyway, Saturday Sonority, ask us anything. Do you guys want me to plug the clouds in? Do we have time for that? Good.
Clouds is good.
Clouds does good. Actually, I haven't turned this gear on tonight. I actually forgot about that because I had to rush back in. Had all the gear turned on here, but I didn't turn that on there. Oh, and the other night, I was saying goodbye to these guys, and I've got this little thing on my phone where I turn all the power off. And sometimes it just trips the circuit breakers because I think some of the connections to these little TP-Link boxes that I've got are hovering on the 10 amp threshold, and those little relays probably are arcing. Yeah. That's probably what's going on. And they're right next to each other in the power point. So you got double power point in the wall. So it could be arcing across the plastic or something and tripping it. Not sure.
So it's the circuit breaker, not the RCD.
It's the main circuit breaker RCD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Combined.
Yeah.
So you can't tell.
No, because there's
or
because the GPOs are not tripping, but the main one that controls the whole section on the panel,
of course,
is tripping.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's the upstream one.
Which means to me that it's arcing. That's why I'm alluding to that, because otherwise, if it was just the GPO, it would probably trip that on its own. If it was like a voltage leak or voltage high situation, or the current. Sorry, I shouldn't say voltage. I should say current situation. Where is my clouds? It is here. It is here. We should get the clouds out. I'll have to unplug it. I'll plug it into the nifty case, guys. So we'll have some use.
So who's going to be the first person to grab the front panel of the skies, detach the back panel of the clouds and put it into their skies and say, look, I've got clouds in my skies?
I mean, there's nothing to that module. Look at it. Look how thin it is. Yeah. There's just nothing to it.
That'll work in that 33mm case?
Oh, yeah. It's literally just DSP, this module. Pure DSP.
It's all in the code.
Yep, all in the algorithm. I've got to take the System 8 out, guys, so just give me a sec. System 8's in front of me at the moment. Right here. Take the MIDI out, the power and the audio. Have we got you guys that ever want to see my System 8? You know why I like it so much? Because it's got aluminium sides.
Oh,
Jeez. Like I bought one. Right. I have to hide some modules, Chris.
you have to what?
I have to hide some modules.
Oh yes, okay.
So just give me a sec.
Spoilers. We don't want spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want spoilers. Okay.
Preferably without damaging them. Tricky.
I'm just being really
Subtle.
careful not to
Yeah.
show.
This is not how you do self promotion. You're meant to accidentally show it in the background of everything you do. You know, I'll just
Well,
move.
that's the
this
Behringer
new
method.
module over here.
Just like hint at stuff all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Hang on, I got to take them out. Give me a sec. They're all still connected. I haven't actually used my Nifty case since the last time we spoke.
Is it that bad?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not that. That I've been doing other stuff and I haven't
Well,
used
I've
my
got a
Nifty
case
case.
down here. Similar.
Yeah, it's dusty.
Dusty. Yeah, I dusted my Mini Freak off today so that I could upgrade it. Because it won't upgrade if it sees dust. It's very smart software. Updates.
Oh, I
Dust
so
itself
want to show
first.
that module, but I can't.
Well, that's good. Soon.
No, but it's it's really cool. It's got me excited.
That's good.
All right, let's.
One
pull
more
them
than the
out.
other.
No,
Cool.
they're all equally good for equal reasons. Okay, I'm going to hide this over here. I'm going to hide this over here. Right, now. What do we want to do? Do we want to just have like I mean, the guy on the video, he had a brains.
Did a good job. Did a good job of...
He had a brains going into it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we could do the same. I've got a brains
play
here.
play a little riff that you can play it on your Nifty keys instead. Live.
What I'll do is I'll put there's modules and cables going everywhere right now, but I'll share it with you guys so you guys can see. Come on, wakey. It's weird. It never used to be that far back.
Your whole world is moving, Rant.
Yeah, it's like
Having an
everything's been pushed back.
Ah.
All right. Hang on a sec. All right, so this is the mess that I've got now to sort out.
Yes.
All right, so that's going to be a quantizer. So I don't know if we really need that, to be honest, but I did have marvels happening here. Take that out.
110 will do a good job, yeah. Could be,
Yeah. So, what do you want? Where should I put the clouds?
But at the end of the chain, I would think so. But
We want
the
to see it
marbles
though.
can probably be at, yeah, exactly. We'll just put it in the middle, on the other side of the, in between the brains and the disting.
I might not use the disting. I might just go without it. I don't think it's really good. I don't think it's relevant. I'll
No,
still have
probably
it
not.
Connected and everything, but we just won't need it. we'll put it there, and then that can go there. That'll do for now. That should be enough. All right, let's screw some screws in so we don't get people upset.
You don't want them flapping in the breeze. Like those two modules over there. Shh. Don't look there.
They're trying to flap their way back over here to show the world. I'll just do 2 screws. Sorry, Steve. I know you like 4 screws. Are you a 4 screws person, mate, or are you a 2 screw person?
Depends whether I'm testing it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing a quick test, you probably do 2. I only do 4 when I'm going to be putting in and removing jacks from proximity near one of the screw points, because like pushing on the module's no problem. It's when you're pulling a jack out that you start doing nasty things.
Yeah, if it's where it's going to stay, then I'll have 4 in it.
Yeah. It looks better with 4 anyway.
Yep.
Now, guys, do you want me to put a blank panel there? Is that okay? Are you going to be okay with?
I think we're good with that, Ranz.
We'll accept a virtual panel.
Some people get upset that there's blanks.
We'll just pretend this
especially,
one
wow, especially when you got your flying bus showing.
there. Oh, I can't have that.
It's almost pornographic, isn't it?
It's filthy stuff. I can see your power supply. It's the equivalent of I was going to say it's the modular equivalent of builder's crack.
There you go. Shut up.
There's still a gap, Ranz.
I know, but the next one is bigger, isn't it? Hang on. Maybe. Yeah, too big.
Oh, not again.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I'll even put a screw in that just to even
Oh, wow.
keep you happy. And they're not just screws, they're knurlies.
Proper
Oh, yeah.
ones. Do you find you end up with knurlies all over your room?
No.
Okay. It must be just me then.
I've got a little jar thing that they go in.
Well, I have a jar too, and they're all over the room.
I call
But
it
most
Jar
of them
Jar
are in-
Binks.
Most of them in the jars. Tins, actually. They even got
Mine's still in
magnets
a
and
little box. I got a
Yeah.
little box.
little boxes are good too. Hey, that's a
Nearly
good use
box.
for some little boxes.
We need power, people.
Power to the people.
I need to get some more eurorack modules. I've still got knurlies left.
That's the problem, isn't it? When you buy a
Okay.
decent number of them. Oh no, I haven't used them all.
Now I actually need to I do need to turn my eurorack system on behind me,
Yeah,
because otherwise we won't have any sound.
that would help.
We'll just go with the that one. You guys hear that?
Yeah, something went. Yeah, in reverb.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go out and in. Now the cool thing about the clouds is you can take a mono input and you can take a stereo output on it, so we won't worry about that at the moment. Keep those outside, and we'll just do the brains for now, but we'll keep the System 100 at bay if we want to do that sort of more on the analog sound. And what else we got here? We've got well, that quantizer is going to be only really helping us with
Yeah,
this.
for the 110.
Yeah, so we don't need to really worry about it too much. Now,
Yep.
my System 8 is in my way. Whew. we need to get some stereo sound out of this. Sorry guys, it's taking a bit longer than I thought. Okay. All right, we've got some sounds.
Affirmative.
Just getting some cables that weren't being used.
By the way, that art premiere just finished up.
There we go. So we didn't miss out on anything.
So yeah, they're going to come in and say, oh, Rant hasn't done anything while that video's been going on.
Okay, just making sure we've got the right sides. Okay. Now I can't see anything unless I have to look at the video. Because this is like flat, right?
Right, yeah.
Alright, so what do we want to do? Select an algorithm. Alright. Why don't we say shut up for a minute? And great thing about mutes on the mixers. And all my screens just moved.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can't see you guys. You guys have disappeared behind the screen.
Oh.
There we go. Like this whole thing, this whole camera thing has moved. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, frame.
Nasty piece of work. Gonna get a slap in a minute.
Frame creep.
All right, mutable instruments. Sorry, I need to get the manual out, guys.
There you go. Welcome to ownership of mutable instruments.
Indeed.
I've got two as well, and I need the manuals. They're clones, but close enough.
No, it's just that because I'm not looking at this properly, I probably need to zoom in too. There we go. So you guys aren't looking at the crap in the back. It's definitely plugged in, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Power.
Freeze. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we've got that. All right. So what we want to do first is
In-gain might be too low.
we probably want to turn blend up for a start.
50% and start turning up the gain.
Let's turn this on. Let me just check Ableton. So there's your level there.
Okay. Handy.
Alright, we've got that working. Now the next thing we want to do, you can hold the blend parameter and audio quality button down for 1 second, and you can toggle this between 4 different audio quality modes. There's 32 kilohertz 16-bit stereo, and then you lose a buffer time. So basically the more quality your audio is, the less buffer you've got. Or you can go with the 16 kilohertz 8-bit stereo, which is a 4-second buffer time, I think. Yeah.
Same. Yep.
So holding down the blend parameter and audio quality buttons at the same time, which are these two, right? And then for 1 second, right? And then press it repeatedly to select the recording quality. So I have no idea which one's which. Hang on a sec. It's that one there, I think, is the one we've got to go for. Are we getting stereo now? Let's see. Yep. All right, what we want to do now is we want to get this thing working the way we want it to work. So we've just worked out that we're happy with the stereo. Okay, so basically we've got to work out what type of algorithm we want to run, okay, and that's generally dictated to you by these little symbols here, which kind of really suck because it's hard for me to read them unless I zoom right in, because my eyesight's not that good. So you've got these two buttons here that toggle between the functions here, right? Mm-hmm. The manual is atrocious, by the way. I do actually have an actual physical manual that's better than this. I'll get that out. Which one's clouds? So there's the actual clouds box. And inside, if I'm thinking correctly, no, the manual's not in there. Okay.
Ain't it always the way?
It'll be around, but it's not there. I don't know where it is. All right, so we'll have to go to my drive and get the manual that way. So this is the quick start guide. Why doesn't it have the other one? Interesting. Because it's literally, the quick start guide is literally only a few pages. Anyway, there's an online manual here, which I'll get the link for. Full manual. We'll do that. And this is going to help us a bit better, I think. All right, here we go. Okay, so just the lay of the land. The freeze button, if you haven't worked it out, is a latching button that stops the recording of the incoming audio. And granularization is now performed on the last few seconds of the audio kept in memory in the module. Then you've got the this button here. So not this one here, but this one here is called the blending parameter and audio quality button. So you select which blending parameter is controlled by the blend knob. So you would hit that, and then you can select. Do I have to hold it and do it? Oh, that toggles. That toggles, yeah. So that's the different ones.
That's the selecting.
And then that then
mode selector.
That then
No.
goes between it. So
Yep.
that's what I want to find out. So that's the first thing we want to find out, which is K.
I think the third one ends feedback and the other one's reverb at the end.
So that's the reverb.
Reverb's
isn't it?
definitely last.
That's the last one, right? So the first one is the actual algorithm, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the second one's feedback, and the third one's
Something like that.
yeah. Why doesn't it show the friggin' symbols though in this manual?
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Anyway,
So just colours.
no, it doesn't say anything. It just lists it, and I don't know if I just have to work out. Because then you've got all different other knobs like the granular and the density and things like that. All right. Anyway, let's just work this out. So we'll go. So we're going to toggle between each of those, right? So that there's reverb. So let's. I went too fast.
Yeah, so the first one is the dry and wet balance, and you use the blend knob for that. The second one is the stereo spread amount of random panning balance applied to grains, and then the third one's feedback, and then the last one.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're now in granular land, and that is the original dry signal. Okay, so what were you saying the second one was, Steve?
So the second LED from the left is stereo spread amount of random panning / balance between applied to the grains. The third.
Let's go max on that. Yeah, and the third one?
The third one is feedback amount.
That goes into not exactly self-oscillation, but
All right. And the last one is reverb. So no reverb? Yeah, there it is. So let's go back to that first one. And now we're on complete. Now that's on complete blend. So that's just the engine itself. So now we can play with it, right?
Yeah. You should be able to turn the gain down now.
So when we like something, we can freeze it.
That's the position. And how.
Sounds like a filter, is it, that texture?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
It says here, morphs between various shapes of grain envelopes. So it says.
Yeah.
It's a completely different sound now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I've got no effects running on this. I'm just looking at my mixer. There's no delay, no reverb, anything. This is just the clouds module and the brains module. So I'm guessing now what we can do is put some modulation into these You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
Like, for
Modulation.
example, LFO. Now that's an LFO changing the position. So just get rid of that reverb for a sec. That was on freeze. There you go. There's a bit of clouds for you. Was that fun? You guys were watching chat. Sorry, I couldn't watch chat. Some people were saying stuff in chat. Yeah, I mean, I have to admit the menu diving on it was a little daunting for me just then, and I had to get Steve to sort of read stuff while I was playing with it.
But you pick it up pretty
But
quickly.
you do pick it up pretty quickly. And there's a manual online as well. I feel like I can get a lot more out of this, like the grain texture and density thing. So one of the things that I didn't really work out is that's got to be at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then density's got to be at 12 o'clock, right? And then nothing's generated at 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah. The middle position is
There.
off and then one way.
So if I go clockwise, it'll be sown randomly, and counterclockwise, they'll be played at a constant rate. The further you turn, the higher the overlap between the grains. So
Higher the density, yeah.
what I wanted to try and do is I wanted to try and see if I could get this thing to just pick up on less of a sort of, you know, I don't know if it's the sequence I'm using that's probably causing me issues. Maybe we should change the patch on the brains. Something else. Let's try that one. It's kind of more bitey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Now we're getting it. So we want to go Do you guys want me to go clockwise? This will give you that random sewing. Yeah, you can see it. You can hear it now. So this is the envelope. So to me that sounds like a high and low pass filter.
It does sound like it, but is that...
Yeah.
Might be the modem on.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's play with this. So we've got, don't forget I'm modulating the position. Got hair on that. Alright, let's now. Getting some interesting sort of like, it's like it's mimicking something but at a different pitch. So now we can try and get that reverb in again. You can get really ambient, that reverb. Yes, we can play with this for hours. But that's just, yeah, me not having used it for a while. Forgotten about all the button presses that you've got to do on it and things like that. But yeah, I feel like, you know, for $99 US, when you get the Behringer version of it, I think you guys will...
No brainer.
Yeah. You'll be able to do a lot better than I just did with it.
Yeah,
I kind of get frustrated with it. I feel like I've had this feeling before. Like I want to be able to control it more. I know there's the Volts per octave stuff and you can play with it like with the freeze, but you know, when you play with granular synths, when you can visually see stuff like on a you know, like a Argon 8 or something like that, it's different.
Yeah.
Is it not just a means of creating another oscillator, really, rather than running a sequence through it?
Well, I mean, that was what I was kind of getting bored with. I think the marbles was, you know, getting repetitive, and I didn't really like what it was doing.
It's like, I mean, I can remember on mine, I just had just an open lead, and I used my thumb on the end of it to make a buzzing noise. And some of the sounds you get from that was, and then you can obviously control it volts per octave.
It's almost like an oscillator, like you're saying.
Yeah, so feeding stuff into the buffer and capturing it and then using it to create an oscillation.
A bit like
Yeah.
Morphogene.
Yeah, well, I ended up wasn't that happy with it actually. Anyway, the question that Wagoo asked in chat was about this module. And he wanted to know if this offers any different firmware or is it just less HP? And I think it's the stock firmware on here. I think. I need to check my email. I'll show you guys it next to the cloud so you can see. So that is the Ranzee module, which is a different layout to. I actually think it's a great thing that he's mentioned that because I actually almost forgot. So this is basically clouds, right?
Yeah.
This is made by Cal Synth in the US. And you can see it's a smaller HP, okay?
Yeah.
But a different layout. So instead of these things being knobs, they're sliders and there's knobs and there's attenuators and things like that. It just changes it slightly. I also kind of like how the two buttons are either side and it changes, that way. But yeah.
The one called the Monsoon as well.
Well, that is what this is, isn't it?
This is a monsoon, yeah. So this guy just
branded
renamed it Ranzee just for me,
All right.
just to inflate my ego.
That obviously didn't work.
Yeah, no, it's already inflated. Rangoon was what he called it
All right.
on the back. So it was very, very simple for him to change it to Ranzee. But yeah. I mean, you guys want to hear the difference between the two? Can do it.
Wouldn't mind.
Okay. We'll take clouds out and we'll put Ranzee in.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I noticed it has less LEDs as well, which is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that either.
Yeah, that's not a compromise I would have leapt to, especially when you still got panel space for it.
Hang on a sec. Is this the right one? Yeah. Hope it still works. Haven't used it for a while. Now you guys are going to see inside my case again, and you're going to get all
Up close, personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what we're going to do.
Right.
We could move them across, but I really can't be bothered.
No.
It has lights.
So it's 6 HP less.
Yeah.
That's quite a saving.
Now, what did I want to do? That needs to go in input. Hang on, this is not the right module. What am I doing? This is not the right module. This is rings.
Oh.
I need to get this one out. I need to get Typhoon. Sorry, it's the wrong module. I got the wrong module here.
It's yeah.
Typhoon is what I want.
Right.
Sorry, I was getting confused there for a second.
Sort of didn't have exactly the same control names.
Yeah.
Might have been that whole rings into clouds thing, Rans.
Hey?
Might have
Rings
been that
into
whole
clouds,
rings.
Yeah.
Everyone did that, didn't they?
I guess that's one of the downsides of having a consistent panel layout. I mean, I know that was one one of the hallmarks of the mutable instruments range was to try and have a, very clear design ethos. Of course, then you can have a look at all of them and you can't work out which one's which. Is that the one that does that thing, or is it the other one that does that thing?
No.
Yeah. I can find the bloody module. We'll all be happy. Maybe it's in the other drawer. Give me a sec. You guys can stare at that for a sec. Well, start of the show.
Welcome back. This is where we started. With me. Welcome back to the show.
I don't think I'm going to find it quick enough for you guys. Unless I start pulling boxes apart. Okay, I give up. I don't know where it is. Anyway, don't matter. Let's put that in there for now. I'll find it for next show. How's that? I'll have to look for it. So what happens when you got too many modules, guys?
Yeah.
It's Typhoon that we want, not Ranzee.
Typhoon.
And I thought it was still plugged in, but it's not. Didn't I use it recently? No, I didn't. Anyway, does not matter. We probably should wrap up anyway, I think. Yeah, Synth is the company that do the clones. And when you think about it, right, Synth are doing them for a couple of $100 US. But yeah. This is gonna chew away his market, that poor guy.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that he does, I guess, that makes it easier for people. He does kits and he does updated firmwares and like custom firmwares and things like that. So he may still have a market for himself there. But it is kind of sad, I feel.
I guess, yeah, if that's where you're hoping your future lies, but hopefully he's thinking about future business.
Or if you don't like a Larry panel, you can choose his one.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think we can probably wrap the show up. I think we've done whatever we can. Like I said, I'll dig out Typhoon. I've got a feeling there's a different firmware on it, but I need to check my emails that he sent me, which is a long time ago. Dig through that, find out what's going on. I don't really use that module much anymore because I've got clouds, and personally, I felt the layout of that was better.
Yeah, it is nice. I do get that it's nicely spaced out. It encourages experimentation, looking for sweet spots, all the good stuff.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll end the show. It's almost normal time to end it anyway, so
it is.
We did good.
We've done well.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for being part of the show. Hopefully we will see you on the 300th episode, which is next week.
Be good. Hopefully all the panelists will turn up.
I'm just thinking to myself, what the hell have I done? And I'm doing 300 of these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe don't think about it.
Maybe don't. Yeah. I got to get up early tomorrow morning anyway. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy your ARP stream a bit later if you're a part of that.
Yep.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Steve.
No worries.
See you, boys.
See you, mate.
See you, girls.
See you later.
See you later.
Cheers.
See you guys.
Bye.